All right. Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Ramona. I pray all is well with you. Welcome to the channel. If you have just joined us, and if you are back, you don't know already. I'm going to came across this video that I wanted to share. Trying to get out of the. I'll be listening back to some of it. I'm like, okay, let me get out of the wind. It sounds crazy. All right. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's theories, there's thought processes, and then there's people who follow these thought processes, and it affects people's real life. So I came across this video. Let's listen to it, and then we can discuss.
Literally just met him.
So you're just gonna sit on your phone?
Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?
Why do I have to walk?
I mean, you look close enough to walk, so.
But you drove me here, so I don't get why I'm walking home all the time. I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you don't want to come back to my place, so there's no point in me, wasting gas. You can walk from here.
So I feel like I don't want to go to your place because I don't know you well enough, and it's just like our first time meeting. Does that not make sense to you? I don't get it.
I mean, we spent the whole day together. I'm obviously attracted to you. I don't see what the issue is. You can either come back to my place or walk.
So what in all can I be heard? What in all of KS is going on here? I'm gonna play it again. I came across this on I think it was on a short or a reel, and I went over to TikTok and it was a whole thing. This young lady met this young guy. They agreed to go out on a date. They go out on a date. He pulls up to the gas station. She has the receipt of her putting money in the gas tank. She has the receipt of them going half on the less than $20 lunch or whatever it is they were doing. So this is where she seems to be when she decides to put her camera on. And he basically is telling her if she doesn't come back to his place, then she has to walk home because he's attracted to her and he doesn't want to waste his time. Um, if or get waste his gas, the one that she put in, if she doesn't visit his home. So we have these doctrines going on around. Sorry, the manosphere, these pump and dump doctrines, and this is what it looks like for these young children, young adults in real life. I'll play it again.
Literally just met him.
So you're just gonna sit on your phone?
Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?
Why do I have to walk?
I mean, you look close enough to walk, so.
But
Y'all know I'm gonna have to. So that's ultimately rude. You're sitting with somebody you first time, and the first she's asking you just gonna sit there on your phone, and he was like, "Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?" Because whatever the conversation was, it wasn't going in the way that he think it should go. Now, what in all of creation do you think? Meeting this young girl for the first time, how did you conclude that this person owes you anything, much less their whole body? Let's listen again.
Literally just met him.
so you're just gonna sit on your phone?
Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?
Why do I have to walk?
I mean, you look close enough to walk, so.
But you drove me here, so I don't get why I'm walking home all the time. I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you don't want to come back to my place, so there's no point in me, wasting gas. You can walk from here.
So I feel like I don't want to go to your place because I don't know you well enough, and it's just like our first time meeting. Does that not make sense to you? I don't get it.
I mean, we spent the whole day together. I'm obviously attracted to you. I don't see what the issue is. You can either come back to my place or walk.
There were those in the comment section that said she was using him. No, the young girl posted the receipts that she paid for gas and she paid for the lunch because he did not have money. So she put the cash app and the fact that he cash apped her back the monies that she put in. So no, she was not using this young man for free food. And free food, $20. What in all of red light district is going on? The free food did not come up to $20. And even if he paid $20, how does that entitle you to somebody's reproductive organs? But there is doctrines that are floating around that says this is what the young men and the older men are supposed to do. And there's some people who know no better and actually try to employ this, right? Actually try to employ these tactics. Can I be heard? If you don't pay, then you walk home. Hmm. Yet still, that let me see. Not saying entitlement is good, but she was still wrong. She knew he wanted to have what, but with him, but she assumed he was a desperate simp who was going to be along. But how is he being used when he didn't pay for anything? How are you being used when you didn't pay for anything? The facts of the story is that he did not pay. Those are the facts of the story. How can you want something? This is why some people are saying that you should, uh, talk to the women, talk to the women. I'm of the understanding that if you're going to put men in leadership, you have to talk to the men. Your expectations are unrealistic. How are you expecting that you're going to have access to this person, this young woman, for the first time that you met her in broad daylight? Your boy KS once said, don't go out after 7 o'clock. It's broad daylight. Let's look at the video again. And this young boy has an expectation that is totally unrealistic and coercing her and forcing her to walk home if she does not comply. That is desperation. That's desperation. If you have to coerce somebody into doing something, then you're desperate, because they would do it of their own volition if they wanted to. Why do you have to um give them an ultimatum in order for them to comply? And why would you want to be with a person if that's what they have to do? Let's listen again.
Literally just met him.
So you're just gonna sit on your phone?
Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?
Why do I have to walk? Like,
I mean, you look close enough to walk, so.
but you drove me here, so I don't get why I'm walking home all the time. Like, I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you don't want to come back to my place, so there's no point in me, wasting gas. You can walk from here.
So, I mean, I feel like I don't want to go to your place because I don't know you well enough. And it's just like our first time meeting. Like, does that not make sense to you? I don't get it.
I mean, we spent the whole day together. I'm obviously attracted to you. I don't see what the issue is. You can either come back to my place or walk.
Her thoughts are, it's our first time meeting. I don't really even know you like that. You don't know me like that. She's not yelling. She's not screaming. She's not calling him a scrub. She's not calling him a broke Negro. She's not defacing him. She's trying to reason with him to say, what are we talking about? I don't know where they met or how they got to this specific location. But I mean, based on the way she's interfacing with him, you don't hear any of what a lot of people often say you would hear. So it's just interesting to see some of. I've seen a lot of the men on TikTok, reprove this brother. Like, yo, bro, you out here giving people a really bad name. I haven't seen a lot of men come into his defense because this is undefendable. If you were broke, why did you go outside in the first place? I would say she was in the wrong for for overextending herself. And a few people said that as well. She overextended herself first at the gas station, then after, I don't know if she was trying to prove that she wasn't a gold digger, I don't know, but she overextended herself, and then he got to show all of his behind. Judah says he's an example. Let me take. I feel like I'm yelling. Judah says he's an example of what is wrong in our community. The erroneous error that a male is good enough for every black woman and we must give it up to them. Right. The entitlement. That's the craziness of it all. I invited you to my place to do what? I don't know you. I don't know you. What are you going to the place to do, bruh? And we're talking about this specific situation. What I've noticed is sometimes when we show exact situations, we go into generalities. But in this specific situation, if you were a judge, if you were a counselor and you heard this situation, what would you say about this specific situation? Who is in the wrong, right? Who had unrealistic expectations? How could this have been done better? She should have not paid for anything. Yeah, it's kind of weird and crazy. I have another video. Let me see here. I only have a few minutes. I'll probably come back later after I finish at the shop to do some more. That Marvin Gaye got me going, y'all. If y'all missed the first episode, check it out. But let's listen to what this brother has to say about similar relationship issues. So on that case with the young woman, I would say she overextended herself. If this is the first time you're meeting the person, if he took it to this level, telling you to walk home, there had to be some signs in texting, communication that he wasn't necessarily the best dude to go meet up with, right? And also depending on where you met him. So it may have been a number of things that culminated to this very moment. But after he figured he wasn't getting what he wanted, he decided that he was going to ignore her. So, she's like, "Are you just going to be on your phone?" And he's like, "Are you going to walk home?" I was like, "Bro, you are doing the most." And if she was ratchet and ghetto, she would have cursed him out, but she didn't. And here we are still blaming, the woman for his behavior and his unrealistic expectation. If having a six-figure man is unrealistic, as Semma Singh, I don't know why they caught up in all this six figures. It's unrealistic to just meet somebody and think that you have access to the most sacred part of who they are. That is retarded. I don't even know what else to call it, but let's click this right here.
It's certain men that ain't never had to utter the word submissive. They ain't never had to say it. They ain't never had to proclaim themselves as the leader of their family because they don't have to talk it because they walk it. They don't have to ask somebody to follow them because this person sees them working, sees the results of their work, the fruits of their labor, and they decide it's a good idea for them to do so. Y'all up there talking because you ain't doing enough work. You ain't putting in enough action. You don't know how to effectively lead. And so you complain and get on Beyonce's internet talking about these women don't know how to let a man lead. They don't know how to let unqualified men lead.
All right, let's play that again because it stuck a little bit on my side. So let's play that again from the top. Charlie, welcome to the conversation. We're just going over some stuff that's in the TikTok universe.
It's certain men that ain't never had to utter the word submissive. They ain't never had to say it. They ain't never had to proclaim themselves as the leader of their family because they don't have to talk it because they walk it. They don't have to ask somebody to follow them because this person sees them working, sees the results of their work, the fruits of their labor, and they decide it's a good idea for them to do so. Y'all up there talking because you ain't doing enough work. You ain't putting in enough action. You don't know how to effectively lead. And so you complain and get on Beyonce's internet talking about these women don't know how to let a man lead. They don't know how to let unqualified men lead.
You heard what the brother said. Unqualified. Somebody owns a business, but they're not a good business owner. They're unqualified. Right? This guy that this young, he sounds young. He's unqualified. He's listening to some bad dating coach, some bad advice, somebody somewhere who told him that picking someone up, expecting them to or for you to pump and dump them, really, because if you're going to pressure the person to that degree, what real, and you don't know them, what do you really have for them? What's the expectation for this relationship other than ghosting them after you get what it is that you want? So what's really in it? Where is the relationship building? I'm confused. Where is the longevity? Where is the marriage? Where's the end game that so many people are saying? They're bringing people together. Really? For those who've just joined us, welcome to the conversation. We went over a video of a young girl who she said she wanted to share it on TikTok because it was a crazy experience. She had no idea that it was going to go viral. You can definitely go over there and read some of the comments. Hold on. If I don't know if I go over there, you could go over there and read some of the comments. I'm not about to do the extracurricular right now. I'm on the phone. But you could go over there and check out some of the comments. Like I said, most people are saying that that's coercion. The guy is out of pocket. Some people are saying she overextended herself, which I think she did. You paid for lunch, and because he didn't have the money, and you paid for gas. Let's listen to him one more time, and then I'm gonna open the mic for anybody who wants to share their thoughts. But before I do, let me play a little quick commercial break. Once again, shout out to the Yummy Cottage sponsoring these type of broadcasts. So go on over to theyummycottage.com and support the work, and you'll benefit. So hold on 1 second.
Literally just met him.
So you're just gonna sit on your phone?
Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?
Why do I have to walk? Like,
I mean, you look close enough to walk, so.
but you drove me here, so I don't get why I'm walking home all the time. Like, I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you know, you don't want to come back to my place, so there's no point in me, wasting gas. You can walk from here.
So, I mean, I feel like I don't want to go to your place because I don't know you well enough. And it's just like our first time meeting. Like, does that not make sense to you? I don't get it.
I mean, we spent the whole day together. I'm obviously attracted to you. I don't see what the issue is. You can either come back to my place or walk.
This is essentially some of what is out there. We've heard that there is some pee in the pool, but this is what is out there. This is what is going on. This is what some people are to expect. Put out or get out, or he's gonna make you walk, or he's gonna abandon you, or he's gonna make you call an Uber because you're not giving me what I want. Even though I have no rights to it, that would just be another body count for her. And then she would be called all type of names if she succumbed to the men. So just like the other guy was saying, if somebody's not worth submitting to, then you should not submit to them, because then you're going to be setting yourself up for the okie doke. I think, let me see if anybody has anything to say. There was one more video I wanted to play. Hold on 1 second. Let me give you the. There you go. So how do you get to know someone? How do you get to know someone if you don't have the opportunity to know them? If you don't have the opportunity to communicate, like they used to say, courting back in the day. How do you get to the marriage space if people are, or if men or women are pretending that they're trying to get to know you, but in actuality, they're just buying their time until they get what they want. They're just doing what needs to be done until you give up the goods, and then they ghost you, right? Let's see here. We cannot say these women, because we just see an example of a young girl. I went over to her page. She's a young girl, and she tried to hold herself together, even in a situation where there's pressure being put on her. So she should not have. Okay, I've literally been in that situation. I walked. Wow, Judah. Dude hit me up later and asked me to forgive him and give him another chance. I respectfully declined. That is crazy. Wow. See, it's happening. Like, I've seen clips where the guy calls the girl, he flew her out, and then she doesn't do what he wants. So, he kicks her out the hotel. Or, I mean, first of all, it's both sides. I think it's both sides. It's problematic on both sides. On one side, the guy is disingenuous in his efforts, and he's willing to do what needs to be done until he gets his desired result. You know what I mean? Which is to use her, more than likely. And on the other side, the woman is like poking the bear, seeing how far she can go with holding the control. I wouldn't play like that. Like, I literally just saw a video of a guy at the zoo, and he's petting the lion, like, oh, little lion, hey, little kitty. I literally just saw this video.
hey little kitty, and then next thing you know, the lion is all like, oh, come closer, you know what I mean? And then the lion just jumps on his finger and won't let go, and he's like literally pulling. I don't know, my stomach was kind of hurting at that point, like this dude's gonna lose a finger, the way he's trying to get his finger out the lion's mouth. But that's kind of what it is in some situations. And how are you able to tell which is which, you know? And in this situation, she cut the video, but she stood her own, like, no, I'm not going to your house. And she had every right to say no, even if he paid $20 for the the high sugar content juice. That doesn't mean that she's supposed to go to his house, because what is she worth, $20? I mean, where are we? Where are we? In the Twilight Zone? Finding a decent black man these days is a dang near impossible. They expect sex immediately. We saw that. Mistreat you and call you a hoe if you give it to them, and spew KS hatred at all times. So let's talk about that. If you give it to them, you a hoe, right? You're a garden tool. If you don't give it to them, you're gonna die slow and alone with your 50 cats. If you do and they leave you, then you got a high body count and nobody's going to want to marry you. And if you don't, it's because you don't give it up and nobody. This doesn't sound like a game that can be won. It sounds highly rigged to me. What are your thoughts? Does this sound rigged? I think there was one more thing that I wanted to play. Hold on. This situation sounds rigged. There's no way to win in this situation. Hold on. It's bad news. Like they say, it's pee. It is more than some pee in the dating pool. It's no, you can't win for losing. So many women have said, you know what? And I just saw that the other day. I think I wanted to come on here and talk about it. About a woman who decided to become celibate again until she got married. And the people, I have to go, let me see, the people in the comment section was going in on her. And it's like, what? What do you expect her to do? It's really, I think it's a case of, and some people talk about it sometimes too, that because other people are not able to control themselves sexually, not able to govern their desires, you look out of place when you are not participating. It's like people want you to come down to their level. So for instance, you may have the virgin girl or the virgin young guy, and his friends want him to be as debased as they are. And so they tease you and they make fun of you because you have not experienced that which they themselves have not really truly found the benefit of, right? And so they convince you to cut your tail off, my favorite parable, the fox without the tail, and so that they don't feel out of place. Yo, where are we, man? Rigged like a carnival game run by a one-eyed guy named Old Trusty. They want her to keep making the same mistakes that she made in the past. That way she can still be used. And your boy KS said the same thing. The young woman was like, I think she was older. She's like, you know, I'm celibate. He was like, for what? As old as you are, you should be trying to give it away. For what? Why is she giving it away? To whose benefit? If she's going to be pumped and dumped anyway. If she's going to be on rotation anyway, it might as well be right with the creator. Why give yourself to someone who's not even going to be present? Y'all help me to help this conversation. I think I put the link in the box. Let me know if the link works. You know, what kind of sense does this make? But if you listen to it succinctly, let's listen back to what the other guy was talking about. If you listen to what is being said, it's the okie doke. It is the okie doke. Okay, phone, you're gonna start freezing now? Hold on, everybody. La-dee-dee-da-dee. Hold on. Let me see. It's the okie doke, people. We have another video from a brother, so let me upload this one here and see what he has to add to the conversation. What time is it? 5 o'clock.
Yo, Q, I got 40 girls. I'm like, bro, If you go look at the 40 girls you chose, I bet you they're very weak. And the woman you treat the worst is the one that's trying to help you the most. That's how foolish men are. The woman we break down and hurt the most, I'm guilty of it, bro. And I throw myself under the bus all day. The woman that tried to help me the most is the woman I hurt the most. It's proven fact that we tend to hurt the woman or the person we love the most. And it's sick about us, bro. Reality is you're supposed to be going towards the person that's trying to build you and push you and help you the most. Having sex is nothing. That's only an encounter. But a mental encounter is bigger than a sexual encounter. When somebody's trying to build this, oh man, it's deep, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna play it again for the people in the back. He's talking about seems like a mature guy who is coming out of, the immature state of running down girls just for front and realizing that along the way, a lot of people are crying. Men, it happens to women and it happens to men. The person who was supposed to be for you, you poo-poo-pooed on them or treated them bad or did whatever. And now you go down the lane and say, oh, chill, there's nothing. It's not going to be like that no more. And then you blame this person, that person, and not realizing that when you had the opportunity, you messed it up. You fumbled the bag, right? And that's being honest because you were chasing instant gratification, right? Let's listen to what he has to say.
Yo, Q, I got 40 girls. I'm like, bro, if you go look at the 40 girls you chose, I bet you they're very weak. And the woman you treat the worst is the one that's trying to help you the most. That's how foolish men are. The woman we break down and hurt the most, I'm guilty of it, bro. And I throw myself under the bus all day. The woman that tried to help me the most is the woman I hurt the most. It's proven fact that we tend to hurt the woman or the person we love the most. And it's sick about us, bro. Reality is you're supposed to be going towards the person that's trying to build you and push you and help you the most. Having sex is nothing. That's only an encounter. But a mental encounter is bigger than a sexual encounter. When somebody's trying to build this, oh man, it's deep, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Now, who's to blame? What can we say about that? So this young man seems to be the one from the You Gonna Walk. He seems to be in the stage that this older man is reflecting on, saying, you wasting your time and you're going to realize that that's not where it's at, right? But brothers like this need to talk to brothers like that, not people who don't have relationships, don't know what they're talking about, still out here chasing tail and chasing front. Those people are only going to convince you to do what they're doing. And then where do you end up? There's some loneliness. There's something about when a man continually gives his seed. Either he wastes his seed on the ground, he gives out his seed and give and give. If there's no reciprocity, if that feminine that is receiving, it is not there to give him back, it's not there to nourish him, it's not there to encourage him. Eventually he begins to feel empty. And no amount of bodies can fill that void. There's an emptiness that comes with constantly. A lot of people like to talk about the woman being used up and not talk about the emptiness that comes with constantly giving yourself away for momentary gratification, and then there's no reciprocation. Energetically, there's nothing coming back. And then there's a different person and a different person and a different person. And every other night you put in your spoon in a different pot. You know what I mean? Eventually, you're going to have all these spirits. You're going to be bound up with all of these energies, wondering why, whatever it is that you're wondering why the money is not enough, wondering why this is not enough, wondering why that is not enough. It's because you emptied yourself out. That's vain. Let me see what y'all got going on over here. Even Israelite men, Judah say the mental connection to a male can destroy. Even Israelite men, one Israelite told me verbatim, we too old for that. I gotta test it first. No, he driving cars. He said he gotta test drive the front. Where you testing it to go, sir? I've said this before, and many years I've been on panels, and they'll be like, Amuna, what? I've come to conclude, after much observation and study, that one of the major things that we are misusing, one of our major powerful tools that we are misusing is the sexual intercourse. We're misusing it. We're using it for our own personal. It's like working at a job, right? And you have petty cash, or well, petty cash is not that powerful, right? But you have access to the Amex card for that job, and you are over there using the Amex card for your personal edification, for your personal finance. Where we do this at? We see that the lady from, I forgot her name, the lady from Black Lives Matter is under fire right now because they raised money for so-called Black Lives Matter, and she over there buying $1 million mansions, misusing or misappropriation of funds. Okay? And so if we are misusing or misappropriating our procreative power, no wonder we're into problems. They want to hold that woman accountable for what she's doing. So what do you think? If we are, let's just go on the theory that we are. We don't know what we're doing and we're misusing it. What do you think the judgment is? How are we held accountable for misusing that power, that energy that we've been given? It's like I keep saying, it's the energy to create. It's the same energy that artists use. It's the same energy that that births anything into the earth. But we are not taught. They say, yeah, you know, sex education. They're teaching you the biology. They're not teaching you the spirituality of it. They're not even teaching you emotionally how the thing works. They're only teaching you biologically. If you do this and this, then this happens. But I think the ball is dropped on this because we don't understand what is at play and why so many things go awry in the earth. Because the people are at the wheel and they don't know what they're doing. So you're gonna meet somebody, you don't know them from Adams, you don't know their family history, you don't know where they've been, you don't know what pots they've been dipping in, you don't know who been dipping in their pots, you don't know what kind of demons may be attached to them. You have no idea. But you over here talking about you want to sample the pot? Huh? Do you just go to random people's house and start digging in their pot and eating their food? You don't know if the cat was on the table. You don't know if they washed their hand. What's going on here? But that's kind of what people are doing because they're really not thinking beyond that particular interaction. And it's been so normalized that any other thing is like, what are you talking about? Are you being approved? We're here to, and then what happens? There's studies that talks about the hormones that are released during sex, one night stands versus long-standing relationships. And I think that's something to look into because, like, again, if you don't have long-standing relationships, if there's no reciprocity, there's no oxytocin, there's no bonding hormones, it's just dopamine and things that, get you high real quick, then you're always, if it's that and you're not connected to the person, you're always going to be looking for that high, never fulfilled. That's like saying the crackhead was satisfied. When is the crackhead ever satisfied? They're always looking for their next hit. Outside, they're making noise. Destruction is what we are getting from the misuse of sexual connection. That's exactly what we're getting. We're getting broken homes, and this is across the board. It's not just Black people, white people. You're getting broken homes. You're getting spiritually transmitted diseases. You're getting madness. You're getting all kind of stuff. You're getting physical ailments. All kind of madness is coming as a result of misusing the procreative powers that we've been given. All kind of madness, depravity. People have lost their mind, gone astray, all because why? We think, oh, it's fun. There's a mechanism there so that we would be incentivized to continue to be fruitful and multiply. That's my thought. There's a mechanism. The Creator put a mechanism there so that you would be incentivized. It's like somebody giving you a bonus to do a job because everybody may not want to do that job. Once the woman pushes out a baby, she has to be incentivized to want to push out another one. Once the man has to take responsibility for the lives that he's created, he has to be incentivized to want to do it again because it's laborious. It's laborious. Okay? It's a never-ending job. But people are like, ooh, I'll take the incentive, I'll take the bonus, but I won't show up to work. Where we do that at? They be like, yo, $5,000 sign-on bonus, I'll take that, but I won't do the job. This is what we're doing. When you go to Jobs and Corporation and they say, hey, you get 2 weeks off, you get this, that, and the third, and we want all those benefits, the sweet part, but you don't want to do the work. So people want to sample other people's front. They don't want to make what do you go up to a house and be like, yeah, let me sample this house real quick. Let me fake live in here you have to make some level of commitment to gain access to a house. You can't just go in there and be like, let me just sleep in here for like 4 or 5 months without paying, and then I'll let you know if I want it. Where are we doing this at? What's going on, Nasha? Where are we doing this at? But that's kind of where we are. For those who have just joined us, I played a number of videos that just speaks to the thought process. Really, actions are followed by or preceded by thought. So if we want to know what's wrong, it's how we think. It's how we think about everything. Our expectations of everything that leads us to here. It's how this young man thinks about himself. And I'll play the video again. How he thinks about sex as just something momentary, something that he's old, something. This has to be the case. Otherwise, else he wouldn't just think, you know what? I'm just going to merge I don't know this girl. Why would you I want to lay with you. What thought is that? That thought is that you don't value yourself. And there's a lot of men that are running around here that have low self-esteem and do not value themselves. And this is why they're willing to just give themselves away to anybody who's willing to take them. Let me play this again.
Literally just met him.
So you're just gonna sit on your phone?
Yeah, are you gonna get up and start walking?
Why do I have to walk? Like,
I mean, you look close enough to walk, so.
But you drove me here, so I don't get why I'm walking home all the time. Like, I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you know, you don't want to come back to my place, so there's no point in me, wasting gas. You can walk from here.
So, I mean, I feel like I don't want to go to your place because I don't know you well enough. And it's just like our first time meeting. Like, does that not make sense to you? I don't get it.
I mean, we spent the whole day together. I'm obviously attracted to you. I don't see what the issue is. You can either come back to my place or walk.
She was very articulate. She told him exactly what her objection was. She said, I just met you. This is my first time meeting you. We're going out on a date. And I don't feel comfortable. And he was like, oh, you don't feel comfortable? She's like, you drove me here. He was like, oh, well, you don't feel comfortable? You're going to have to walk home, shorty. And the backstory is she put gas in his car before they got to the date. I would have been like, bruh, how you wholly pulled up to a date with no gas in your car, though? I know gas is kind of high, but what are we doing right now? Let me see what you guys have to say, and then I'm going to wind down. I might come on later to do the Marvin Gaye story, because that one got me going. That's interesting. These women are having, well, you can't say these women, because again, this particular conversation is not about these women. This particular conversation is about this woman. And this woman is a young girl. She's not a prostitute. She's not a hoe. It's a young girl who posted her experience in the dating pool on TikTok, and it went viral. And everybody's commenting, even the men, about how the young boy was out of pocket for trying to either say, you're going to come to my place or you're going to walk. When you picked her up from somewhere, the right thing to do was drop the person back. How are you so in your feelings that you're going to threaten her? That's coercion. That's an ultimatum. If you don't come back, then I'm gonna do this. But I'm gonna pump and dump you anyway. And since you didn't let you get yourself get pumped and dumped, now I'm gonna dump you. It's crazy. Yeah. And he was supposed to return. She put receipts up and everything. I was supposed to put. Wait, let me see if I can get the receipts for you guys. So that. Hold on, let me get the receipt. Hold on. Let me get the receipt. Click the link if you have anything to say. I'm gonna wind down after this. Oh no. Don't change my Let me get this receipt up. Sometimes my frustration is, if we're looking at a specific case, we're going to all of these other cases when specifically this case is what we're talking about. Let me see here. I'm uploading it. Hold on. It's hot today, boy. So for those, some people were like, oh, she was broke, this, that, and the third. So she had to come and share that that's not what happened. Let me see. Now I can't even see the whole receipt. Hold on. This is one of the receipts. You could definitely go over to Twitter. This is one of the receipts. I'm gonna try to read it from my phone. She says, nah, sis, even if you didn't give him gas money, he still should have given you a ride home. He's the one at fault. The young girl says he pulled up to the gas station first, said, quote, I'll cash app you later if you put some gas in. That was an indicator already. If he said, I'll cash app, like, how did you agree to drive outside with no money? You shouldn't have been going on a date. You should have been looking for a job, right? I'll cash app you later if you put gas in. She already knew that was an indicator, and he didn't even send it back after. She's laughing. She also says, I paid for the date, y'all. The way the men jump to conclusions is crazy. I also gave him gas before our date started. The proof is on my page. So yes, I expected a ride home. Over there trying to finesse the gas money, and this is the screenshot here. Who does that? I don't want to laugh, but that's kind of funny. Wait, hold on. But leave the back door open for me there. And this is the receipt that she sent over, because you know the internet jumps to conclusions quickly. The internet should be in the Olympics the way they be high jumping, straight to conclusions, boy. So she was a good sport about the situation, but it just goes to show that bad advice, some of this bad advice is coming from the elders. Some of the way in which the young men behaved, they went to that one nasty uncle, they went to the off aunt, and they gave them bad advice. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. And they go out there and practice this stuff. He's worried about coaching, but can't afford a $5 foot long or $10. Yeah, that's crazy. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It is unnecessary. It's crazy. But it's what's going out here. So both young men and young girls need to be educated on etiquette, man. What in the world? Anywho, talking about if you cash at me, I'll cash you back. You know what I mean? How you pull up with no gas? What? You didn't know you was going outside? Oh, you know you didn't. You meant cooch. I can't. Yo, Judah. Hey, do not do that. That's funny. Y'all got jokes today. So with that said, let me know your thoughts. There's so much more going on in the internet, but you know, every now and then we stop and check out the young ones, because they are confused. I remember having so many questions, but nobody was shooting straight from the hip. Nobody was giving you the information that you needed to be prepared. And then when you make wrong mistakes, it's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. But you didn't instruct people correctly. You assumed that people would know, young children would know. Somebody needs to pull them aside and be like, hey, brother, that's wrong. You know, did you care about the welfare? Talking about you live close enough. Did you care about the welfare of that young girl? When you picked her up, did you pick her up and say, hey, we going on this date and you got to give me front, because if you don't, then you going to walk home? Like, I mean, what was the conversation before? He's like, I spent all day with you. And don't you want to know the person who you're talking to, who you're dealing with? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'll end on the brothers real quick, and then we'll come back later on to talk more about Marvin Gaye, because that's some interesting stuff right there. Let me let the brothers say their piece.
It's certain men that ain't never had to utter the word submissive. They ain't never had to say it. They ain't never had to proclaim themselves as the leader of their family. Because they don't have to talk it, because they walk it. They don't have to ask somebody to follow them, because this person sees them working, sees the results of their work, the fruits of their labor, and they decide it's a good idea for them to do so. Y'all up there talking because you ain't doing enough work. You ain't putting in enough action. You don't know how to effectively lead. And so you complain and get on Beyonce's internet talking about these women don't know how to let a man lead. They don't know how to let unqualified men lead.
Q, I got 40 girls. I'm like, bro, if you go look at the 40 girls you chose, I bet you they're very weak. And the woman you treat the worst is the one that's trying to help you the most. That's how foolish men are. The woman we break down and hurt the most, I'm guilty of it, bro. And I throw myself under the bus all day. The woman that tried to help me the most is the woman I hurt the most. It's proven fact that we tend to hurt the woman or the person we love the most. And it's sick about us, bro. Reality is you're supposed to be going towards the person that's trying to build you and push you and help you the most. Having sex is nothing. That's only an encounter. But a mental encounter is bigger than a sexual encounter. When somebody's trying to build this, oh man, it's deep, bro. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness. I was just about to go, but then I saw a comment. John says, shout out to John, he sent a super chat so that I can read this. John, I was 2 seconds from ending this broadcast. Now let's listen to what John is saying here. John, we're going to need the statistic. 1/3 of U.S. women admitted. We're going to need the statistic, the poll, who ran it, all of that interesting stuff. If that's doable. To dates just to get free food. She did not go on the date to get free food. She paid. So that's already established that is not this. She wouldn't be in the 1/3. She is not in that number. You know what I mean? So if we're talking about this particular case, she is not that 1/3. She was willing to come out of her pocket to get to know this person. She spent the entire day with him. Also, now 24 hours. In 24 hours, you can know all you need to know as to whether or not you want to take home somebody else's demons that it may take you the next 7 to 10 years to get rid of. In 24 hours, she's supposed to know everything that she needs to know about this person to decide whether or not she wants to make a soul tie with this person. So we really established that she didn't get free food. 24 hours. I don't even think she spent 24 hours because, you know, in today's slang, I don't know what qualifies as a whole day. Knowing him. And she did it in an appropriate way outside. She didn't go to his house. He didn't come to her house in the sense of they're outside. They're outside. Okay. With him knowing she wasn't going to let him hit. So, okay, they're not in a relationship. She's outside. It's the middle of the day. She paid for herself. And somewhere in this conversation, she's supposed to quote, let him hit. No, sir. Brothers, where are you? Somebody come talk to John for me. And John now, even though the girl did not curse him out, she did not call him a scrub, the guy didn't pay for his gas, he had to cash app her back some money. In the face of all of that, she's wrong because she wanted to get to know somebody. Now, when the woman them don't give the man a chance, they're wrong. When they give the man a chance, they're wrong. When they make him hit, they're wrong. When they don't make him hit, they're wrong. This sound like a booby trap. John, this is madness. What are you saying to me? This is madness. If you think that this young woman is wrong for what we know about the story, something wrong with the whole, this is not making any sense. You can't blame, the welfare and the 60s and the 70s. Now we have this young girl, again, she's not cursing, she's not defaming, she's not defacing. As a matter of fact, she said she didn't want to release his information to social media for protection. The same thing I talked about the other day. Even though he tried to play her, she still doesn't want to sun him on social media. She didn't even release his face or his name. Yes, she's still wrong. Now you can't win for losing. Something wrong. Something wrong. Now she can't win for losing. That's a rabbit hole, ain't it? Am I the only one who's hearing this? Let me see what these are. Am I the only one who's hearing this? What part of the conversation, what part of what she did was wrong? Is it wrong to meet new people? Is it wrong to get to know these people? Is it wrong to have standards? Is it wrong to have boundaries? Hold on, you guys. I'm walking, checking on these little ones. Where did you guys go? Where's Maya? Why did you leave the skateboard outside? Okay, just stay right there then. Yeah, is it wrong? Is it wrong to have boundaries? I'm trying to figure out, because she had boundaries. She had expectations that he was going to respect her, and she didn't. Is it wrong to think that? I mean, I'm trying to figure out, what are we as a community, as a people? There's no community. Because if you see a stranger who's stranded out somewhere and they need a ride, or you go to a function, you want to drop them home, or give somebody a ride, not to leave them out like that. How is she wasting his time? He didn't sign up for front. How is she wasting his time? It would be a waste of time to engage with somebody that you don't know and that you don't plan on having any type of relationship with. So, I mean, you know, and furthermore, he seemed like he's wasting time if he pulled up with no gas money. He should be spending his time in other ways. So again, my point being, it doesn't matter. A lot of people, I see a lot of people on YouTube making big channels on, see, the woman is this, the woman is that, the woman is this. But what I've learned is that she could be submissive, she can be humble, she can be loud, she can be brash. If you want to accuse her and use her as the scapegoat, as a Zazel, to put all the sins of the world on, they're gonna do it. That's what she can be humble, and you say, well, she didn't do her job. She didn't tell me I was wrong. She can be loud. Oh, she was loud, and that's why I didn't hear her. You know what I'm saying? She could have went home with you. She shouldn't have been so easy. She didn't go home. She shouldn't have been so hard. I mean, if you want to blame somebody, you're going to find a reason to blame. Okay? Nobody cares about the spiritual stuff, and that's why they got demons, John. They cannot care all they want. And that's why this is why all type of things, you got depression, people are transferring energy, people are transferring spirit. You don't have to care about it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And eventually they will want to care, because eventually when it all settles, when you go to sleep and you're about to put your head on the pillow and you're unsettled and you're unstable and you have no peace in your heart, and you're going to start reflecting, or something happens, you're going to say, how did I get here? I don't care what anybody says. When it's all said and done, it doesn't know how many people know you. It doesn't know how many people don't know you. You have to live with you at the end of the day. And the reason they don't care is because a lot of people are not telling them. They're making this stuff to be cool, and it's not cool. That in my estimation, the only thing she did wrong was overextend herself when it was clear that the guy was playing games. But wait, no, is anybody else out here? John says, I gotta put this one up on the screen. She wasted his time by going on a date with someone she didn't want to sleep in. That means you only want attention. What? It may have been what? Y'all gotta bring me up to speed though. So what happened to the relationship? Go out. What happened to the relationship? There's no relationships anymore. Sleep with that. So wait, that's the end. That's the end. That's the goal. Is that so that everybody's hoes and prostitutes? You know, the other day, shout out to this sister's channel. I can't remember the name of the channel right now, but I think I saved the video where she went over it was called Octoroon Whore. It was about in the early 1900s. There was a madame in Louisiana who, she was pimping out other Octoroon women, and their clientele was high-end white men, European men, and they named the house Mahogany. I was watching the little short documentary. They named the house Mahogany House, and she built like this 3-4 story house, and it's a whorehouse, right? So I'm trying to figure out the way people are talking, the way this information is coming across is as if you go out with somebody that you have no ties to and no relationship with, the expectation is that if they show you a good time, you're gonna lay with them. To me, that means that there's a lot of whoredom going on, though. Judah said, that's why I blocked John. Oh, you can't see John? Yeah, that sounds crazy. Positive reinforcement. That sounds crazy. Yeah, I don't know why we keep talking about these women. Some of us couldn't be judges in here because we don't pay attention to the facts of the case. We're talking about this case. We ain't talking about these women. We're talking about this woman. We ain't talking about what 1/3 do. We're talking about this particular case. What happened in this case? And what happened in this case was the man was wrong. It was clear that when she started her phone, they already were having a conversation, and she looked, I guess she wanted to get it on video because, or for whatever reason, her own safety, whatever it is. But it's clear that this man is in his feelings because he wants to debase this woman that he just met for the first time, and she wouldn't let him. So now I'm gonna abandon you and let you walk by yourself home. Yeah, they want whores. Well, I think they're admitting it now, Judah, because I think, John, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but is it safe to say that men want loose women? Is that what I'm hearing? If you go out on a date, expect that you're going to be compensated. What are you compensated for? What is he being compensated for? What did he do? Show up. I'm trying to figure out. This sounds like something else. He shows up and he's to be compensated for. He just shows up just for showing up. Like, oh, he showed up. What? He don't build no houses. He don't meet no parents. He don't protect nobody. He don't. I mean, what? I'm trying to figure out. That's like not even going to work and expecting to get paid. Like, you don't even work there. And you expect to get paid. She didn't want to. I mean, she doesn't know him. This is, you know how somebody said, can I get to know you? She doesn't know him. She doesn't know him. Is it me or have I been inside for too long? She don't know him. How do you expect somebody don't know you? It's like going to an interview and demanding that you get the job because you showed up for the interview. That was the purpose of the interview, to see if you were a good fit for the job. How are you trying to get paid for showing up at an interview? That's what I'm hearing, positive reinforcement. They are for that. That's what I'm hearing. The man shows up to an interview and you expect to get paid because somebody gave you the time of day for an interview? This is madness. I don't think you're being serious. You may be trolling right now. There's a possibility you're trolling right now, brother. So I'm gonna go ahead. What time is it? 5:41. That's because that's not what dates are for. They're going to know the person to see whether or not this is a person that you want to continue to communicate with, to get to know, to see whether or not this person is a good fit. It's not for getting into an agreement sexually, spiritually with this person, only to find out that that person wasn't a good fit. That's not what that's for. That's when we didn't know. That's when somebody didn't teach us. Not no grown behind people still running around talking about a date is for fun. Well, I mean, where are we doing this at? We're talking about the way she handled herself. She handled herself beautifully. She respected herself. She still respected the conversation. She didn't attack the person. She didn't curse them out. I mean, the way she handled herself well. I don't know if she ended up walking home, but for any young person listening, do not follow some of this crazy advice, male, female, do not follow some of this crazy advice. It's going to get you hurt. And the person who advised you, they're going to be long gone. When you have to deal with the fallout of whatever that is, whatever you pick up, herpes, clap, whatever it is you pick up spiritually, physically, you know what I mean? You're the only one going to be going to the doctor, and then you're going to have extra stuff on your tally. They're going to add it to the tally, and you're going to need therapy. I'm tripping today. It applies to her as she part of society. Okay, but okay, don't care. How you know what women? I'm a woman, and this is 2022. So how do you know they don't care about getting to know someone? What planet? Okay, like I told you, maybe I've been inside too long, but this madness that is going on out here, some straight up debauchery. This is why the situation is what it is. Because if I sound crazy, and like, then this place is we got questions. Men need to be taught about self-control. They need to be taught about expectations. They need to be taught about the realities of sex, because somebody lied to them. And that's why they say things like, she put a baby on me. I'm sorry. How did she put a baby on you, sir? Like I said before, did she give you some of the wine that Lot's daughters plied him with? Because if not, how did she put a baby on you, sir? In this area, men seem to all of a sudden not be able to take personal responsibilities for their actions because somebody made them do it. She came outside looking, I mean, you know, oh my goodness. Positive reinforcement says, so glad to be out of the dating world. Hey, we've been inside. So there's some crazy stuff going on outside, but truth don't change. Truth is truth, right? So you could be inside for 100 years and pop back outside. Just because people have gone the wrong way doesn't mean that what you're coming with is not truth. It just means it may be strange. It's like right now, 100 years ago, it would be normal for people to know how to make bread. 100 years later, children think bread comes from the supermarket. I'm out here teaching children how to cook, how to make bread from scratch. And they're looking like in amazement. I'm like, yo, these things we put together and that stuff you buy from the store, ta-da, here it is. So truth is truth, right? Bread does not come from the supermarket. Somebody has to make it and they sell it at the supermarket. So, you know, yes, I've been inside for quite some time, but this madness doesn't make the madness right because everybody's doing it. I already said that, John. I already said I've been inside for a long time. Like I said, I do not live under a rock, okay? However, I have been inside for a long time, and that doesn't mean that it's not madness out here. It's still madness. It leaves people empty, destitute, depressed, consumed with a variety of spirits, fighting all type of things. That's what happens when you go around playing duck, duck, goose with everybody's genitals. You can't be playing duck, duck, goose, you it with everybody's genitals. It don't work like that. Well, clearly, he said, taking my outdated advice will have you single. Listen, the lady would have still been single. If she would have took y'all advice, she would have went home with the dude. The dude would have defiled her. Then he would have ghosted her, and she would have still been single. And she would have caught another body, according to the youth in the street. Okay, and furthermore, I've been catching up on what's going on outside. That's why I'm watching and seeing. And what I'm seeing is the people are lost. There's no loyalty. There's no commitment. There's no true connection that's going on in the, like you say, 2/3 of what's going on. The hookup culture has taken these people to another level. Do you know what hot girl summer is? Don't play with me. I've heard that before. These women have OnlyFans accounts. How many women on here have OnlyFans accounts? Because John likes to put everybody in this extreme category. All of these women are not walking around with OnlyFans. You may have those who are and those who are not. Yeah, we praying for Judah out here. You gotta be still, Judah. You gotta be still. You gotta be woke, pay attention, and the Creator will send the right person for you to be able to meet the right person who has the same morals. Because if you have to go and convince somebody, already you're starting off on an even keel. And another reason why I speak in this way, because I have young children. And the thought is, you're thinking, what type of children are going to be grown that eventually will be mates for your children? So you have to speak truth, even if it seems outdated, because you pray that the energy, the good energy that you put out there comes back. If somebody is willing to leave you on the first day because you're not giving them front, yes, that person. If somebody is willing to pull up to a date on E, talking about I'll cash app you, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and leave that right there. Anybody have anything else to say? Y'all pull me back in. What time is it? 1 hour and 6 minutes. That was an interesting conversation. John is talking, but I'll let the guy say what he said again as it relates to just laying randomly with all of these women. It is counterproductive for that male. It's counterproductive for the female. It leads to emptiness. That's what it leads to. Hollowness. A loss of contact with self. A loss of contact with the divine. It leads to having bits and pieces of you scattered within this person and that person. It leads to soul ties. Okay? Don't let nobody lie to you. Let nobody lie to you. It's a trick. It's a trick. Okay. I'll end on this one again. I'll play him one more time.
Yo, Q, I got 40 girls. I'm like, bro, if you go look at the 40 girls you chose, I bet you they're very weak. And the woman you treat the worst is the one that's trying to help you the most. That's how foolish men are. The woman we break down and hurt the most, I'm guilty of it, bro. And I throw myself under the bus all day. The woman that tried to help me the most is the woman I hurt the most. It's proven fact that we tend to hurt the woman or the person we love the most. And it's sick about us, bro. Reality is you're supposed to be going towards the person that's trying to build you and push you and help you the most. Having sex is nothing. That's only an encounter. But a mental encounter is bigger than a sexual encounter. When somebody's trying to build this, oh man, it's deep, bro. You know what I'm saying?
We might have to come back and talk about the foolishness of men and the foolishness of women. Both are foolish in their own right. The foolishness of men and the foolishness of women, and how we get to where we get to. All right? What do you say? You need to learn about what's going on in today's dating market. This is why you're confused. I'm not confused about Shahrazad Ali. I don't know why you're obsessed with Shahrazad. I'm not confused. The men are co-signing her. The foolishness of men. If somebody's speaking to your biases, of course you're going to agree with them. If somebody is co-signing your foolishness, of course you're going to agree with them. If you're not seeking truth, you're telling me about what's going on today. Today, some of the young ones coming up can't even formulate a full sentence. They can't write without writing in shorthand. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on today that is questionable. This young man went on the street with a microphone and asked these people some questions. Common sense is no longer common. So we can't go by where we have ended up. We have begun our descent. Okay? People have stepped away from common sense, reasoning, spirituality, the love of the Creator. People have stepped away. So what I'm supposed to do, like step away too? Instead of saying, hey, yeah, we stepped away, but that's not the way. And then when she has the baby fathers and when she does this and this, that, oh, it's her fault. Everything cannot be the woman's fault. Something is wrong and inherently wrong in that thought process. Everything cannot be the woman's fault. There's some things that she's doing foolishly and some things that the men are doing foolishly. So with that said, I'll be back later, y'all. I got to go back inside. Thank everybody for tuning in. Have a blessed day. If I don't, I should come back later, but if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow. All right? Bless.